I've been wanting to do this ever since I started making my own watches, and I finally reached out to DIY Watch Club, and they did send me a kit that I could try out. So today I want to share with you my unfiltered thoughts on this serious option, and trust me, I have got a few things I want to say about this, especially if you've already made your own watches. Now, first impressions are important, right? Well, in this case, they really do hit the mark. The box and the packaging is simple, but really quite neat and very efficient. It comes fully kitted with all you need for this build, and to show you how true that is, I will only be using the tools included in this box for the build. Nearly, but we'll get to that later. Actually, some of these tools are better than the ones I've already got, so I'll definitely be keeping and using these ones moving forwards. Before anything else, make sure to scan the QR code provided and start following the build guide provided by DIY Watch Club, because that is the differentiating factor about this option, is that it comes with a plethora of videos and guides that makes this whole build feel seamless, even if you've never done this before. Straight out of the box, all the parts feel good, they are very well packaged. As mentioned, the tools, well, yeah, sure, they're not really expensive, but they are well finished and feel sturdy. You've even got a piece of pegwood, which is useful for when you need to press down on parts and are afraid to mark them, and a tiny piece of Rodico. This is a type of putty, and it's really excellent at cleaning pieces up and picking up parts, but again, you'll see that in a second. I ended up using everything provided in the box at some point, except for the loop, which can be insanely useful for installing hands if not used to it, but I was able to do it without it. I'm used to this process by now, and I just found it faster to just proceed without using the loop. That being said, if you want to stare at your watch, and trust me, you will want to stare at your watch, the loop is really, really cool. First up, let's grab the movement, which is based off the NH movements by Seiko, and is renowned to be a really sturdy workhorse. It's a great beginner choice, as you can very easily find parts and replacements, or you can use it as a starting block for your own mods later if you want. The dial is pretty, but maybe a tad plain to my eyes. This may be exactly what you're looking for. I might have liked just a touch more on the indices maybe, but again, that's a question of style preference, and there are a lot of choices and styles to choose from on the DIY Watch Club's website. Yeah. There is only one position for the dial, so there is no need to worry about cutting off excess feet before installing. You just simply make sure that it's in the correct orientation, making sure that the 3 o'clock is at 3 o'clock, and that depends on where your stem and crown is going to be positioned. You can then press everything down, check to see if we're flush with the movement, and you can use the puffer to blow away any specks of dust. Quick note, the puffer is actually really good, and that's a great thing because this is a tool that you're going to be using every single step of the way to make sure that there is no dust that gets in the movement, because even the tiniest little speck of dust in the long run can cause issues, if not catastrophic failure to your movement. So make sure everything is spotless and that there is no dust. Puff away, just go with it. Enjoy. Before you know it, it's actually time to install the hands, which is the only really tricky part of this build. So using the provided tool, this process is easy, especially as the movement doesn't have any day-date complications, meaning you don't have to make sure the hand is positioned exactly at midnight on the day and date of your watch before installing it, which you might have to do depending on the version of the watch you choose. In my case, it's a very simple mechanism, actually an NH35, if I'm not mistaken, and this means that I just can install the hands anyhow I want, just making sure that both of them are aligned on the 12 o'clock. That means that whenever I hit the hour mark on any given hour, the hands will be perfectly aligned for that. Yeah. I like to use Rodico for this. It really helps me pick up the hands and position them into place, especially when it comes to that second hand. And then once they are in place, the tool provided to press down the hands is as well really nice quality and shouldn't be an issue for you, especially for the hour and minute hands. And this is actually great practice for when you get to that second hand. You've already got an idea of how small and how precise things really are, but you are in for a surprise if you think that is the hardest part, because the second hand is way harder. But yeah, you'll manage, don't worry. I managed, so you'll manage. One thing I do love about this kit is that they give you a duplicate set of hands in the event that you damage one, which can actually happen really fast. These are incredibly fragile, and just pressing down on the wrong area can cause an issue. So it's great that they've included this. Take some time at this point to clean up your hands using the Rodico in very light touches and swipes, Double check the dial is clean, and obviously give everything a really good puffing. Yeah, I think that's how you say it. Puffing. Sure. Same thing is true for the case. Make sure everything is perfectly clean, as you really don't want to be coming back to this one once the watch is closed. And trust me, seeing a speck of dust just on the inside of your crystal really, really hits a nerve when you've just closed everything up and everything is perfect. You really don't have to open it up. So get that glass clean. You can now carefully position everything inside the case and slide in the crown and stem. Now in this kit, the stem is already cut to size, and that is great because cutting the stem to size is not the hardest, but it's just one of those annoying steps of the process. So having it cut to size really cuts down on the time for building this. Yeah, I made that very bad joke. Yeah, I don't apologize. Now the crown goes in and you're nearly ready to get going with this watch. The final part is installing the bezel insert. But actually, I want to remove the bezel and install a different bezel, which they sent me as well. And I've never done this before, so I'm going in a bit blind on this one. Luckily, the whole process was actually really seamless. The old bezel popped off really quite easily and the new one just popped back inside in its place. And the only difficulty was making sure that my bezel insert, which is a gorgeous aluminium red bezel insert, by the way, goes in at the nice exact 12 o'clock position. Now, everything lines up because I'm really particular about lining things up on a watch. Bear in mind, the bezel insert sticks down into the bezel in a way that cannot be removed afterwards. So you really do need to make sure that everything lines up. Now, theoretically, you can remove it, but it would mean destroying the bezel insert to be able to grab onto it and pull it out. So presumably once it's in, it is in for good. So yeah, again, get that lined up. The last part is putting on the bracelet, and I'm really pleased to say that the links provided come with a double quick access bracelet pulley majig, which makes it really, really stupidly easy to install with no tools, which is great considering what's about to come. So now all you need to do is adjust the metal strap. And what? There were no adjustment tools for the strap? It is unfortunate that tools for adjusting the links on the metal strap were not provided in the box, but this is very specific to my model, so I'm not going to complain too much. Luckily, that doesn't actually cost very much. Most drawers will do that quite quickly for you and should be pretty seamless. You could also go ahead and get the tools yourself. They're not that expensive. They will be useful if you continue with this hobby, so that is another option. Anyway, let's take a closer look at the final result. Overall, the build experience was really smooth and enjoyable. The video tutorials, tips, and help given by DIY Watch Club on their website were clear, easy to follow, and on point, and definitely a huge help to anyone who is just starting out this journey with one of these kits. The kit has a lot of advantages compared to learning to build it without. You don't have to learn about sizes, compatibility, movement, dials, and you don't have to figure out what goes with what, and you have to wait for all the parts to come and hope that they are good quality, which is not as easily said as you might think. The kit does all that for you. All the guesswork is taken care of. All you need to do is follow the videos and the guides provided. DIY Watch Club also take care of some of the more troublesome parts of the build, such as removing the excess pins off the back of the dial, because some dials will come with multiple pins to adjust for the different settings you want on that dial. They also take care of cutting the stem for you. And these are two things that can be problematic and can ruin a build or just slow you down in the build if you mess up. So it's really nice that this is all done for you. The only real difficulty in the whole build is installing the hands, but even then the second hand is the only one you really want to look out for. You can take your time, and they do provide a second set of hands, which is really awesome. In fact, I didn't show you the hand removal tools, which I didn't need, but if you mess up your hands, you can just pop them off with the hand removal tools. Again, the tutorials about that are on DIY Watch Club, so they think of everything. I am genuinely impressed about what this kit offers specifically for someone who's coming into this hobby fresh, who hasn't learned all about it, and who is looking for an easy way in, or for someone maybe who wants to buy a cool present for a friend or family who loves their watches. However, if you are intending on going on this journey for the long run, if you want to make multiple watches, or if you've already made watches, this kit is probably not for you, and I'm going to tell you why. Cutting out all the learning curve about getting your first parts is great, but it's also an essential part, an essential piece of knowledge that you are going to need on this journey. So this kit, while will save you a lot of time initially, you're still going to have to catch up. Similarly, you'll still have to learn how to cut the dial feet and how to adjust the stem. Two very important steps which are omitted here, which is great, but if you want to be doing this in a long term, you're going to have to learn about that. Now, that being said, this kit still is a great kit for your first modding kit because you can reuse all of these parts in different watches if you so want to. You can reuse the dial, you can change the dial, you can change the hands, you can reuse any part of this in a different watch if you want to go on that journey. So with that in mind, this could still be a great option for you for a long-term journey. Now, there are two issues I want to point out with this specific watch before I give you my final thoughts. And the first one is about the bracelet adjustment. It's a pity there was no tools for that in the box. But again, if you get a different bracelet, you're fine. You don't need to hassle about that. So that is a minor gripe about this specific watch. The second element I have to point out is that this is a diver watch. So that's what they say on the website. And to be a bit pedantic about all this, diving watches that are only rated to 100 meters or 10 ATM or 10 bar aren't really, to me, diving watches. I would have loved to see a screw-on stem here, a screw-on crown, sorry, just to make sure that you get proper water tightness here and maybe move up to a 200-meter water resistance, which would have been more of a diving watch. Now look, 100-meter water resistance is great for most things. If you go swimming, I've been swimming with watches at 100 meters and it's fine. You shower, bath, whatever you want, it's fine for that. That being said, if you're into water sports, you might want to reconsider this specific model because it is only rated to 100 meters. Again, it would be easy enough to change the case. Maybe you could do that for your second mod. Just grab a new case, which is rated to 200, and learn to cut a stem and enjoy that with the same parts as there are in here, because that is what's cool about modding. Now, finally, a quick word about the end result, because yes, this is a gorgeous watch that I built myself, and you will be delighted with the result of it. You'll be very happy getting some cool comments from your friends and family about this watch and be able to tell them very proudly, and probably a bit too proudly, but that's a different problem, about how proudly you built this watch yourself. It's great to know you've done that, even though maybe this watch isn't alone worth $300. I still think the whole experience, the package as a whole, is definitely worth it. Again, if you're starting in this journey, or if you want to buy it as a cool present for someone you really appreciate. But yeah, this is still a very, very nice watch, and I'm very pleased with it. I'd like to thank DIY Watch Club for sending me this, for trusting me on this journey with their precious watch. It really was fun, and I'd like to say a huge congratulations to them for putting together this kit, because it is pretty unique in the world of watchmaking. So yeah, it's a very, very interesting one. They've got tons of cool watches, and they brought out a new one today, which I would have loved to build as well. So they keep coming up with new stuff. Follow them on Instagram. You'll be sure to find something that you like in there. And again, these are modding kits, so you can always change things around once you've got your own watch. So don't hesitate too long. I really hope that this video has given you more insight into whether or not this kit is for you. Do let me know in the comments below what you think of it. If you're going to be purchasing one, if you're interested in it, what would you change about this kit to make it perfect for you? In the meantime, guys, thanks a ton for joining me today. I really do appreciate you being here on this journey with me. I hope you've enjoyed this video, I hope you've learned something, and I hope to see you very soon for some more crafting.